Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Let's go up to the heavyweights, right? Let's go up to some heavyweights. The WBO, former WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker, his promoter David Higgins, right? Remember him? David Higgins said, shoot, man, Dillian Whyte needs to rematch with Joseph Parker to set the record straight, right? I think it's the other way around. I think Joseph Parker needs to rematch to set the record straight, right? Now, the problem with this is Dillian Whyte, David Higgins goes on further. He says, well, when all this fighting was on this 22nd of December, that fight that Dillian Whyte has to happen on pay-per-view, all these names were mentioned. It's got to be Chisora, and then the other names were mentioned, but they weren't serious about it, but he mentioned, Brazil and Luis Ortiz and stuff like that, but we knew that wasn't happening. But they were at least mentioned. It's like, why is Joseph Parker's name not mentioned? Should be a rematch there. I believe it should be a rematch. Y'all know I believe it should have been a rematch there anyway because of what happened in the fight, right? Listen, right? Joseph Parker came out strong in round 1, then got concussed in round 2 via headbutt, and they counted it as a knockdown. So he was 10-8 round, and he was winning at the time. 3-point, change right there, right? Then you fight and concuss for a few rounds. So most people never done it before, but you're going to fight a little bit different where you concuss. And the transgressions, no matter what, all this stuff, hitting behind the head, low blows, whatever. Your boy never got warned, Dillian Whyte. So that fight would have been a lot different. But hey, it has a lot to do with David Higgins. David Higgins, I think, got a little bit too close to Eddie Hearn, right, during those negotiations with these fights. He should have been demanding a little bit more, right? Don't be cuddling up with Eddie Hearn now because now Dillian Whyte's not going to fight you. I don't think he needs that fight now, right? That's what happened. He didn't need that fight. And if the fight were to occur, what you need to demand is that it's not in England. If you're going to go back in England, then, that's almost insanity. The equivalent of insanity is doing the same thing and expect different results, ain't it? So you're going to go over there, and it puts the pressure on Joseph Parker. Now Joseph Parker has to go over there again. He has to let his hands go more, and he has to do this, and he has to do that. Right? If you fight on a neutral ground, he just has to beat him. You know what I'm saying? And Joseph Parker is fully capable of that. I think no matter who you think won that fight and whatever the circumstances were, I think that we can come out that knowing that Joseph Parker is capable of beating Dillian Whyte. Because if you didn't, then if you just watch round 12, then you know that that's the case. So, let's see what happens. I don't really think that this rematch is going to happen at all, right? But let me just make this clear. For the people that should be fighting Dillian Whyte, Joseph Parker will have to stand in line with the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? He's going to stand in line with the rest of those cats that Dillian Whyte's supposed to be fighting, right? But it's going to be Chisora. They're getting close to signing that anyway. But here's the point about all this heavyweight stuff that's going down. People can feel entitled. Some countries you can fight there and, things that happen in your favor and this and that. Let me just say something that I always say lately. And it's all hail Kali Sauerland. And for people who don't know him, that's the guy that's behind these WBSS tournaments where 8 fighters, and most of the time the best fighters in the division, are getting together and going through a tournament from quarterfinals, semis, finals, and finding out who the very best in that division is, right? And this tournament, right, at the end, you get a Muhammad Ali trophy. That's a name to have on a trophy and a whole lot of money, right? Now, in the heavyweight division, probably be impossible. We got people that get a lot of money, and you probably couldn't do it in middleweight neither because you got Canelo over there. These people just wouldn't enter tournaments like that. My suggestion would be, listen, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, you guys don't have to go to the tournament. You got belts, right? Let's get the rest of them in the tournament so we can find out who the people should contest for those belts, right? So they can stop feeling entitled on another level and not fighting each other, right? We got enough of them. And people like Luis the Real King Kong Ortiz cannot be avoided because he would get in the tournament, right? So you got Ortiz, Brazil, Joseph Parker, Dillian Whyte, and then another 4 guys, up and coming dude, that Hergovich from Croatia over there, right? People like that, putting them people in that competition right there. Jarrell Miller, that's 5, right? All you need is 8. And at the winner of that comes in, and then boom, if they've got this unification, by that time the unification should be done within the top heavyweights. And then those guys, the winner of that tournament, can fight for the unified title of heavyweight title. That would be a suggestion. That would stop all this entitlement and unfairness going on, all this home field advantage. By the way, the WBSS tournament, you go everywhere. Alexander Usyk, the only guy right now in boxing that's undisputed, the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. Do you know he never fought at home throughout the whole tournament? I'm going to say it again because there's not that many people that come in these videos. He went to Berlin, beat Marco Huck in his backyard. Goes over to Latvia, beat Maris Briedis in his backyard. Goes to the final to beat Marek Gassiev in Russia in his backyard. And he's undisputed without even going home. Before that tournament, you know what he did too? He beat Michael Hunter, the guy who just beat Bokele, the big up-and-coming dude who was supposed to be the bomb that was sparring all those rounds with Anthony Joshua, big brother from Congo, living over there in Ireland somewhere, or Scotland, I think it is, about to get hyped. This cruiserweight, Michael Hunter, just beat him, right? Well, Usyk had beat him in America somewhere before that. That's not his home neither. And before that was in Poland beating Glowacki, who was on a high, because Glowacki had just beat Marco Huck. Before that, do you understand? A road warrior that has went everywhere and beat everybody on their home turf, which means he done beat the hell out of them with not that much punching power. So it can be done. We're watching it. That is extraordinary. There's no feeling of entitlement there. Oh, by the way, who was Alexander Usyk about to fight in 2 weeks? It's going to be Tony Bellew. You guys know where that's going to be. Tony Bellew has left England once to go to Canada and get beat up by Adonis Stevenson. Right? So now he don't ever leave England no more either. Yes, Usyk is going to England to handle that business. So it can be done. To get rid of this entitlement, somebody call up Kyle Sala and all those 6 of those heavyweights that are right there trying to beat nobody and then call out one of the top guys. The top guys are trying to get undisputed, or at least we think, trying to get undisputed going down. And in the meantime, a tournament for those next 8 guys would be the solution. Now, if they were to do something like that, watch how many people wouldn't even want to attend. And that's where our problem lies, guys. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. Let's see what Joe does. And I'm up out here.